Salams and welcome. Today I'm going to give you some hints, just a few quick hints on the concept of the 3H, and you can use this fabulously when you're going for an interview or looking for a job, or if you are a boss or a CEO of a company, then you can apply the 3H concept. I came across a wonderful article a little bit earlier, and I thought I'll share it with you. There was this CEO of a company who was looking for new recruits. She wanted a top position for one of her staff members. She did a very interesting thing, and maybe you've heard of this amazing tale of how she managed to get the right person for the right job. At the entrance of her business, she had a security guard, and she did a test for each of the candidates. As the candidate walked in, the security guard would throw down 1,000 rand and would call the person, "Hey, ma'am, I think you dropped some money." And then to test if this person is honest. So there were about 5 candidates, right? So the first candidate comes and the security guard throws the 1,000 rand down, and he calls that lady and says, "Ma'am, I think you've dropped some money." And the lady looks around. Hey, yes, hey, thank you. Yes, that's my money. And she quickly picks up the money and she goes into the building. And so it happens the same thing with the other 4 candidates as well. Security guard throws 1,000 rand on the ground, and the lady picks it up. All of them were female, right? Because it's a position for a female. It's a lady CEO as well. And 4 of the candidates all did the same thing. The 5th lady. Now, the first 4 candidates, they had the best qualifications. They came from the top universities, Oxford University and all of that, Harvard and all of that, dressed to the nines, beautifully dressed in their smart office outfit, designer clothes, everything, dressed to kill basically. And then the last lady came. She could see she's not a wealthy person. She has struggled in her life. She wore ordinary clothes. She did not come with a designer bag. She came with ordinary shoes, right? And the security guard did the same thing. He threw the 1,000 rand down. And as the lady was walking, he called her back. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you've dropped some money." And she turned around and she looked. She picked it up, but she handed it to the security guard. She said, "Sir, that money does not belong to me." And he's insisting. He said, "No, ma'am, I saw that money fall out from your bag. It is your money." And she insisted. She said, "No, it's not my money. Someone has dropped this money, and eventually that person will come here to look for that money again. And when he comes, then give him this money. If not, then give it to the lost and found," right? Meanwhile, with every candidate, the security guard will then phone the HR department or the boss who's waiting. "Man, candidate numbers 1, 4, 5, 6, they all failed. But candidate number 5, she's the honest one," right? They're all sitting there. Now they're all sitting in the waiting room. And these candidates who took the money, these big shots in all their smart clothes. Yes, look, dressing well for your HR, for your interview is very important, right? But these were a bit on the arrogant side to say, we've come from a top school, we've got our qualifications. Look at that lady. She's dressed, look at her clothing. So they were mocking her, right? The lady, they called each of them into the boardroom, they interviewed them for an hour, and then they sent all 5 out again to wait in the reception room. And they said, "We will call you back again inside for a joint meeting." And they all waited outside. Meanwhile, they all gave them refreshments, coffee, tea, everything. Then they called all 5 back again inside. And in the boardroom, the CEO, the chairman, addressed all 5. This is the lady, she's a lady CEO, and she addressed all 5. She said, "I'm going to ask a final question to each one of you. Why do you want to work in my company?" And each of them gave different answers. "Ma'am, you such an outstanding role model. You are a lady. You've broken the glass ceiling. You have risen so high, and I'm absolutely amazed at you." The next one says, "Your company is in the top 3 in the country, and it is such a great honor to work for you." The other one says, "If I can get into your company, I can, it's an open doors for me." And they all kept on talking. Finally, she said, "All of you got fabulous opportunity, fabulous CVs. You all got fantastic answers, but there's one quality you all miss." And they said, "What?" They said, "Personal integrity. Y'all don't have honesty." But this lady over here, the one who's sitting quietly, she's got the job, and the other 4 got a scrick of their life. They were embarrassed. And the lady said, "You don't think we saw you? We were seeing on CCTV camera how y'all were picking up that money, which did not belong to you. So if you're going to work for me in my company, I want someone who's honest. I don't want people like you. They lost it. Whereas this lady, the quiet one, she got a job. So please remember, honesty is a vital ingredient. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people in my role as a medical doctor, in my surgeries, as well as in the private hospital where I work. There's 500 staff at the private hospital. Obviously, you cannot interview everyone, because for every candidate you interview, you got to interview 10 or 20 people for every post, right? So if you've got 500 staff, you need to interview about 5,000 people, right? But we've got a dedicated HR department for that. But for the senior staff, you need to interview them. So what you do is, and please remember, whenever you go for an interview, please remember to dress properly. Make sure your CV, everything is up to notch. And for heaven's sake, please don't ever put a fake certificate. We've got experts. We check everything out. We do our due diligence. If you say you got a qualification and you are lying about that, please note, we're going to tell all the other companies that you're a liar and you're a fake person. So remember, we got our own cartels as well, right? So please never lie on your CV. That's the first rule number one if you want a job. Secondly, the things that I look for, has that person got a qualifications? And thirdly, when I interview the person, I want to find out the 3H. Is the person honest? Is the person humble? And is the person hardworking? Remember those 3H's: honesty, humility, and hard work. If you've got those three qualities, even if your qualifications are not all there, even if you don't have the experience, I will give you the job, because you are a person that the company will look after. So please remember, if you are an honest person, companies will grab you. So don't ever underestimate the goodness of what you got. But if you are taking shortcuts, if you are a dishonest person, not only will you go to jail, but you'll have a black mark on your name and other companies won't even hire you. So now that we're coming into January, I wish all of you the very best in your attempts in getting a job. I know jobs are very difficult in South Africa at the moment, but remember, there's a difference between being confident and arrogant. Never be arrogant in a boardroom when you are being interviewed, but be confident. But don't be arrogant. Be confident. Confidence is important. And some people are not confident, that's fine. Be yourself. The best lesson I can give you is be yourself. Because we've interviewed many, many people, thousands of people, and we know that, look, some people are shy, some people cannot speak so well. But the main thing, if you're honest, and if we see that, you know what, you're trying. Yes, you may be having a difficult day. Maybe the taxi was a bit late. We understand all of this. So don't freak out that we're going to lose your job. No. But if I find that you're a humble person, you're a good person, and you're an honest person, and you show me some references of people to say, you know what, they give a character reference, you've got the job. And for business owners, if you've got staff like this who qualify for the 3H, please look after those staff. They are the assets for your organization. Stay well, look after yourself, and may you get jobs as January and the new year comes. Stay well, look after, and maybe be able to feed your family, because jobs are very important in today's climate. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.